Okay, well, I think we will start then. So good evening, everyone. This is Marlene Alliner, and along with my husband, Richard, and Jeannie Lerner, we will be hosting Dr. Dees Sunrider Call tonight. And last week, we spoke about some of Sunrider's plant-based vitamins and minerals that help to support our mental and emotional health. And I'd like to continue the conversation this evening with some other really fantastic Sunrider supplements that are also really, really effective in helping support our emotional and mental health. I just want to remind everyone that this is an informal, interactive call, so please feel free to share your experiences. I know when everyone does that, so many people are so grateful later for all the special tips and information. But right before we begin, just as always, want to remind everyone to please mute your phones if you have a mute button, or please click *6, and that will also mute your phone, and then you just click *6 again to unmute it if you would like to share anything with us. And this really helps to eliminate any background noise for the recording, and so that we can all hear each other more clearly. So I'm just going to give everyone just another minute, take a quick look at your phones, make sure you're on mute, and then we'll begin. Okay, so I think we're going to start off with Richard talking a little bit about the company, as we like to, and then we'll get into the product. So Richard, are you there?
I'm here. I'm just looking for that mute button.
Oh.
Okay. My phone goes dark after a couple of seconds, and then I got to get it activated. So I'm here. Hi, everybody. I'm glad you guys could join us. We love doing this and sharing information with you and getting the information that you all have to share with us. So thank you. As always, I like to talk about why Sunrider. And it's pretty simple. We all know why. Because of the products. The products are pure and concentrated, and most of all, they work. And why is that? Even so, it's because of the founders. Dr. and Oirin Chen, they are the experts in the field. And I like to use an example of going on vacation into a country where you need a translator. And I don't speak that particular language, so I am depending on my translator to be the expert. And if he says, yes, we're turning left, I go along with the left turn, where in essence, made a mistake, we should have turned right. Sunrider never makes the wrong turn, because the Chens are driving this ship, and they are the experts, and they don't have to depend on someone else telling them what something is going to do, whether it's going to be good or bad. They have all of that knowledge, and that impressed us right from the beginning. And now their second generation, Dr. Rubin and Eric, are involved with the manufacturing processes. Of course, we have Sunny as our new CEO, and Wendy's behind the scenes, as well as Jonathan. So it gives me and Marlene, and I'm sure many of you, a lot of confidence in a company that's already been around for 40 years, that it's going to be around for another 40. And they're opening up their new manufacturing facility in Texas. A lot of people are going to be able to go tour that during the convention. And this is just part of their overall vision to provide the best products and give us exactly what we're looking for, and that's healthy, safe, dependable products that work. And I think pretty much in a nutshell, that's it. Since they're making their own, they don't have to make sure that nobody makes a mistake. They're overseeing everything. And I I believe that our passion is as great about Sunrider as maybe it's out there, because you can hear it when any of the family talk about the company, and it's not just a business to any of us or any of them. So welcome aboard. We're glad you stayed with us and Sunrider for all these years, and we're looking forward to many more. Marlene, back to you.
Thank you so much, honey. Yes, and you can tell by the loyalty of people that have stayed with Sunrider for so long that obviously there is something that we are benefiting from, and then to go and share that with others. So I just want to remind everyone about our topic, because it is May is Mental Health Awareness Month. We started to talk about some vitamins and minerals last week, and now I want to share some other products. But before I do, just as a reminder, that, stress is a natural part of life. We all have stress at times, and we all hear the expressions like, "Oh, I'm stressed out," or "I'm under too much stress." And stress is okay. Stress happens, but when it starts to get chronic and it affects our life in different ways, then we have to take a look at that and see what can we do to help reduce or control some of that stress. And some of the ways we can do that is, besides the products we're going to talk about tonight, one of the things is to learn how to really take a deep breath and just kind of do that nice breathing in and out. And then you also, if you stretch your body, or if you're one that likes to meditate. Also, it's about eating a healthy, well-balanced diet. It's about exercising regularly, getting plenty of sleep. Possibly you can sit and write down your thoughts and help just get it out of your head. You can make a list of what you are grateful for. And I know that Sunrider is always on that list for me. You can go out and connect to nature. But there's some other things too that we can do. And this is actually from the Mental Health America group. And what they suggest, one of those things, is about being realistic. And if you're feeling overwhelmed by some activities, it's okay to sometimes say no. And you can eliminate things that are absolutely not necessary. You might sometimes be taking on more than you really can handle at the time. So that's one thing. Be realistic with your life. Another thing is to shed, they say here, the super ego urge. No one is perfect, so don't expect perfection from yourself or from others. Ask yourself, what really needs to be done here? How much can I do? We talked about meditation. There's also visualization. You can use your imagination and picture how you can manage a stressful situation more successfully. I also like the idea of taking one thing at a time. And I know sometimes we love that we have the ability to multitask, but sometimes that puts us under more pressure. So if we can just take one thing at a time, it helps to lower that tension and stress. Also, if you can pick up a new hobby, something to take you away from your worries, that's a great thing to do. Sometimes it's just about sharing your feelings with a friend, having a conversation, and having someone there for you that will listen and can support you in that. Also, it says if you can give in occasionally, to be flexible. So if you find you're meeting constant opposition in either your personal or professional life, rethink your position or strategy. So being a little flexible, that's a good thing. And the last thing they recommend is to go easy with criticism, because you may expect too much of yourself in others. So try not to feel frustrated, let down, or disappointed, or even trapped when another person does not measure up. The other person can be anybody in your life. And I think it's important for us to try to show love and acceptance for everyone and wherever they are in their life. So that's a few of the suggestions that I think we can all incorporate in our life. Last week, I started to share with you one of the things that's helpful for when you have some really strong anxiety or panic. And I started to give you the tips, and I realized, I don't think I took a top focus before that call, and I couldn't remember all of them. So I have it here for you right now. The tip is called 333. So what you do is you name 3 sounds that you hear at that moment. You move 3 parts of your body, like your fingers, shoulders, and feet. And then you point out 3 things you see. And whenever you feel your brain going 1,000 miles per hour, try this exercise to help bring you back to the present moment, because that's what that exercise is all about. If your mind is everywhere and you're concerned about so many things, this is something, a little exercise that can bring you right back to the present moment. So those are a few little suggestions that we can all incorporate. Now, negative and long-term chronic stress. It can occur when we're faced with issues like financial problems, trouble at work, loneliness, troubled relationships. And what we want to share tonight is a trio of products that are all natural herbal concentrate that target stress and tension, and it helps to smooth the way for enhanced mental clarity and focus. So we're going to start off with those 3 products. I think you all know what I mean. That's been with Sunrider for a while when we say the trio, and that is Talk, Joy, and Ease. And then we will share a couple of other products as well. So Richard, why don't you start off with Talk?
Okay. Top is part of that, what we call the chip set. Get it? T, Joy, Ease, the Top. So Top it's a herbal concentrate from Sunrider. Again, no added chemicals, hormones, stimulants, not habit forming, made with all natural ingredients. Okay, and what it says is it supports emotional balance and well-being. So the ingredients in Top are very interesting. And I'm going to explain a little bit more as I go. Okay, the one that I noticed is the angelica root, and it says this perennial herb is used in traditional Chinese medicine to address a wide range of conditions, including to treat headaches, relieve stress, and to support circulation. All right, again, stress, calmness. You all know how all these things affect one another throughout the body, and how everything in the body affects everything else.
But they're drinking now, probably, right?
I'm sorry? Oh, somebody's not on mute. If you can, we'd appreciate that. Star 6. Thank you so much. The Japanese honeysuckle flower. This fragrant flower has been vital to traditional medicine practice for centuries. Its use includes treating various inflammatory conditions. And valerian root, that is also an amazing product that helps to reduce anxiety and promote calm. And then, of course, the white willow bark, which also helps to reduce inflammation. It's very similar to what they make aspirin out of. And what's interesting in my own personal life and use of these is I've had some injuries, and everybody knows that injury causes pain. And when you're in pain, you can't do the things you like. And many of those things, those activities, they make you happy, they make you feel good. For me, it's a lot of bike riding, tennis, think a product that's going to not only lift my mood, but help with my, in this case, inflammation due to an injury or soreness or anything like that, I'm getting much more than I bargained for. And then Maureen also mentioned the 333 movement.
I got yesterday. Oh, I think that you're in time. Ma'am, I think someone's in their car. Is there someone on the phone that might be in their car ordering food, which is great? Could you please put yourself on mute? Star 6.
Alrighty then. Moving right along. See, we're all calm. These things don't bother us anymore. Maureen had mentioned one of the things to move is your feet. And this might sound crazy to a lot of people, but there was, I believe, a Disney movie called Happy Feet. And it was about a little penguin that loved to dance. And everybody in his little penguin community would make fun of him, and they basically exiled him. And he never stopped dancing. And his happy feet and his dancing is what brought all of the whole basic penguin community together at the end. And I love that movie. And I just love the idea of happy feet because Maureen and I like to dance. And not saying I'm the best at it, but I give it a good old college try. So movement, the use of the top for stress to help with inflammation and things along that line, reduce anxiety and promote calm. This is one of the top three, or the three products and the top three needs that I really enjoy using, and I do it all the time. There were times where I'd increase from 2 at a time to 7 at a time. Again, because it is a whole food concentrate. It's not an isolated chemical. It's nothing that's going to have an adverse effect on me. I wasn't worried about, overdosing or having side effects or anything else. So take whatever Sunrider product in whatever amount you need for your particular, moment in time, and just go with confidence and know that it's going to do its job. Any comments, experiences, questions that anyone might have? Alrighty, Mark. Back to you. This is Marcus Phoenix. Can I make a comment? Absolutely, Mark. Welcome aboard. Hey, how you doing? I'm good. I recently got through a IV chelation for heavy metal. That's trying to get rid of Agent Orange and a bunch of other things that I've accumulated over here. This is the second time that I've done it. This time I've done it with Sunrider. I did the IV chelation, which is a rough thing to do. I mean, it makes your body do a lot of weird things. But you eliminate a lot of toxins. And a friend of mine that got me on the Sunrider told me about the three products that you were just talking about. And emphasized the fact that they take those. And when I was having a lot of stress, it was making me quite ill, as a matter of fact. I took the Sunrider product, the Joy and Ease on top. I took it several times a day for several days, and it helped get me through that lump, if you will. And it not only helped eliminate the problem at the time, stress I was going through, but Sunrider, I went back to basics and hit Sunrider very hard. When I mean basics, I mean the new class that's climbing, it's like 3 or 4 shakes a day. And his has turned out to be one of the best anti-inflammatory diets, if you want to call it a diet, food regime that I've ever run across. So it helped me immensely getting through the detoxification. Sunrider was detoxifying me too. So I've come out on the other side much healthier, happier. Thank you. That's fantastic, Mark. I appreciate that. You know, I've mentioned this before where I had the Achilles surgery, and then just about a month ago, another issue popped up where my ankle had swollen up to 15 inches, and that's when I really increased. Yeah, that's big for an ankle, especially on a little guy like me. But I really increased. That's when I started doing them. Yeah, 7 at a time, like 3 times a day. And within 24 hours, my ankle had gone from 15 to 9 inches in 24 hours. And now I'm still doing it. I'm doing it like 3 times a day instead of 7. And it's still nice and almost normal. But again, the inflammation and again, the calming effect and all this that it had on me. So yeah, the products are just phenomenal. Thank you so much for sharing. Is there anybody else?
Yes, quickly, I would like to check in with Mark and also you, Richard. So, Mark, you were take the full basic 4 to 5 times a day, and then also top joining 3 or 4 times a day. Or what were you doing?
Yeah, yes, indeed. I think the other product Sunrider, those is what I was hitting the hardest to with the situation. I helped with the situation I was in, and it helped immensely. It still is, as a matter of fact. I don't give up on Sunrider. Of course, it doesn't really good to wish that I'd known about it 20 or 30 years ago, but in 1 year, it's amazing what it's done for my health.
Wow. That's fantastic, Mark. And I'm sorry, whoever was just on, did you get your questions answered? Hello? Yeah. Oh, now I can.
Mark and Richard and Marlene, I'm so excited. So what were you putting in your shake, Mark, when you made the Sunrider shake?
I just use water. You know, it can use anything you want, I guess. But, I just use 60 ounces of water.
And then
So, Mark,
plus,
yeah. Were you doing New Plus or Vita Shake and probably Quinary? Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was doing New Plus, Quinary, and powder. And
Yeah.
Alpha 20C also. Forgot to mention that, but that's something else that I throw in there. I started eating bananas and berries and stuff like that. Realized I was getting way too many carbs, so I cut that out. That's when I started doing weight.
That's fantastic. I just want to remind everyone again, please put yourself on mute or press *6 if you're not speaking. We're hearing a little background noise. Thank you, and thank you, Mark. Thank you so much. So he was doing the basics as we talked about before, the New Plus, Winery, and probably did some Cali and or Fortune Delight, and that's our basic. And then he added the Top Joy and Ease that we're talking about tonight, and that is a fantastic program. So you can see why he got the results that he got. And Richard, you just made me smile when you were talking about that movie Happy Feet, because I think that when we're under stress and we're just trying to focus on getting rid of the stress or getting rid of something, by putting something in that brings joy into your life, that makes such a difference too. It's a little bit of a different focus. And that just made a segue for me to our next product, which is called Joy. And I didn't realize in the beginning, I think Dr. Chen chose that name because that's what this is supposed to do, is help. It helps to promote a positive mood and emotional balance. It also helps to reduce tension and fatigue. And it really, what Sunrider says here on their fact sheet, which I love, it says, live life in balance by making the mind-body connection with joy. Our unique herbal formula elevates your mood to ease tension and fatigue while enhancing your energy and well-being. You'll feel better and perform at your best. The Siberian ginseng promotes mental clarity and sustained energy, while the Dong Quai that's in the product supports healthy circulation, and the white willow bark helps to alleviate pain. And I know that when I first started using the top joinings, I thought the joy was just for maybe aching muscles, and trying to build up anything that was sore in the body. But then I really fully understood that this product, this joy, because it really does help with that mind-body connection, it is amazing. And Sunrider says research shows that emotional and mental health can directly affect our physical health. Joy is specifically formulated with natural ingredients to balance this mind-body interaction and improve overall health and well-being. My gosh, I mean, is that not a fantastic product for anyone to use, just to even lift your mood, even if it wasn't about anything else? So joy is something Richard and I take the top joining every single day, and we might do it 1, 2, 3 times a day. And as far as how many we do of each, that depends on each day. And as Richard mentioned, that the fact that this is all made from whole food, we can feel comfortable and safe being able to use the amounts that we need to feel a difference. So if you're not feeling the difference you want, eat enough to make a difference. And that's what we say about all of Sunrider's products. So we have so far the top and the joy. I want to know if anyone wants to share anything about joy before we move on to the next product.
I can say something, sure. It's sort of a vague thing, but I've noticed whenever I am working out, or, especially if the person hasn't been athletic in a while, it might be a little, difficult to get back into it. Really, that formula actually makes you happy. I mean, it makes it like the body performs better, and there's less soreness afterwards. It's really a feeling of joy. How do I describe it better?
I love it. I love that. And that's so interesting, because if you are feeling a little bit more joyful, then you have a little bit more self-motivation to do something that maybe you didn't before. So it's another way to look at that product about joy. If you're looking for a little more joy, just take out your bottle of joy and take some more of those capsules. So thank you so much for sharing that. I love that. So the next product I'm going to share of the 3 that we call the trio is called E. Now this one has been specifically so helpful for people who have had and who experience anxiety, stress, restlessness, and sleeplessness. This Teas formula, it naturally soothes all of those things I've mentioned, so that you can feel calm and rested and rejuvenated and ready to be your best. Valerian root, one of the main products in here, helps to alleviate tension, muscle spasm, and congestion, while the antioxidant rich gutang and the Sephora japonica supports immunity. So let me give you a little more information on those as well. Now, one important thing is that the yeast, it's non-habit forming, so it's not like any kind of a sleeping pill, so it's not not going to cause drowsiness. What it does, it actually relaxes us. So let me tell you a little bit more about these products. So now the Gutang, this is an ancient Chinese herb. It has been used for centuries to support healthy blood pressure. Its significant antioxidant properties may also support immunity, digestion, and circulation. So we know that sometimes when people are very stressed, their blood pressure can be affected by that. So this product Ease, having that ingredient there really helps to support that immensely. Also, the other ingredients we were talking about helps to support the circulatory system. That's also part of the health of our heart. So that is the ingredients, the main ingredients in there. And let me just read to you what Sunrider says on the FAQs from the fact sheet. It says, is Ease habit forming? It says, although it's extremely effective at soothing tension and stress, Ease is non-habit forming and will not make you drowsy. As its name states, Ease helps you ease through the day. Does Ease contain stimulants or questionable ingredients? No, it is a natural herbal formula. Unlike many other mood, focus, and energy-enhancing supplements, Ease is free of added stimulants and questionable or artificial ingredients. I mean, I know that's important to me. So anyone that may ask you about these products, that's going to help them feel calm, just knowing that it has all those good ingredients in there. And the last question says, can anyone benefit from Ease? Yes. This natural, powerful formula is ideal for anyone who wants to improve their mental clarity, cognitive function, and performance while managing stress at work, school, and in everyday life. So this product, even though we might think of it just as something that might calm stress or anxiety, because it also helps to improve mental clarity and cognitive function, anyone would benefit from this, even if a person is not necessarily experiencing stress in their life. So who has anything they'd like to share? I know this is a really popular product and it's helped so many people through so many different situations. So would anyone like to share?
Hi, I was at a Sunrider function one time, and a woman had a baby on her hip, and she was drinking out of a bottle. And by the looks of it, I could tell that it was some sort of, I'm going to call it lovingly a Sunrider sludge. And so I asked her, I said, what do you have in that baby bottle? And she said, oh, Ease. And I said, she'll drink that? And she said, oh, she loves it. So for any of you that have ever done Ease, Ease is one of those that you open up the bottle and you feel like you're smelling dirty socks. It's not full of smell. And it's not a real pleasant tasting thing, but it just goes to show how sweet our taste buds get with sugar and, you know, all the fake foods that we have, all the junk food and stuff. And the babies, when they, you know, if they start on these products, they love it. My daughter used to, I had to be careful where I set my glass down with my new plus plenary Cali in it, because she'd come along and she'd take it and she would just empty that whole thing and then just giggle.
Oh, that's a riot. Oh, that is so funny. But, you know, it's so true what you said, right? Young, very young children or babies, they don't know any different, right? Their taste buds or their preferences have not been really, come into effect yet. Oh, they don't know anybody. They just know when something feels good to them, right? So thank you so much for sharing. And who was that again? The name?
This is Sandy. And that woman had, that baby was she was just looking around at everybody and just very calm. And she said, yep, as long as she has her Ease, she's always calm and never fussy.
Wow. I love that so
Thank
much.
you for the story.
Oh, yes. And it does go to show, right? All ages can benefit from Sunrider products. is something we feel so safe in sharing with anybody. So, oh, that was a great story. Anyone else want to share an Eve story? Or how you use
Hi,
it?
Marlene, this is Jackie Malin.
Hi, Jackie.
Hi. When that lady talked about giving your babies Sunrider, this isn't about ease, but I have given ease to my children when they were younger, but my oldest daughter, Sarah, was adopted, and when I took a look at the baby formula that she came to my home with, I almost was aghast. I don't know why I hadn't researched it prior to adopting her, but I started giving her New Plus and quinary and cold pressed oil with water and sun nectar, and that was what she ate for the first 6 months of her life. And then I started adding a banana to it. But people would have the same reaction to me. They'd say, "What's that brown stuff you're giving your baby?" That's her Sunrider baby drink. And she was such a healthy baby. And my friends would say, "She is so alert. I have never seen a baby so alert." Usually they're like comatose when they're oh my God, Sarah was always smiling and so happy.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you, Jackie. So you were talking about New Plus. What did you put together?
Yeah,
The New Plus?
Quinary, cold pressed oil, and sun nectar. And when she was 6 months old, I started adding a banana to it. And
Wow.
she was lean, and even had muscle as a baby. She wasn't a fat baby, but she was lean and strong.
Wow. That's amazing. Thank you, Jackie. Both Mark and you were talking about some of those basic products, the foundational products we refer to them as, and we've talked about them many times. And you can find those products on the Sunrider website, or please ask the person that invited you to the call, and they can share more about those products. We totally agree. Those are just the basics for all ages and work wonders. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Anyone else have anything else? Thank you.
Yeah, since we're talking about this, when I was pregnant with my daughter, and I was working on the golf course in the Phoenix, Arizona sun, and I was always eating 3 meals a day, New Plus, quinary, calorie. I did that 3 times a day. But on the days when I was working out in the hot sun, I would up my New Plus to maybe 6 or 7 if I felt necessary. And I had her at home with the midwife and everything. And when she came out and the midwife was holding her, she was just amazed. She's like, "Oh my goodness!" She actually lifted her head and turned her head. She was holding her on her shoulder, and I'm like, "Well, is that unusual?" And she said, "Babies don't have that kind of muscle control when they're born." She said that takes months, and so my daughter was also very lean and strong, and she had muscle just from the get-go. She could lift her head and turn it from the get-go.
Wow. Thank you for sharing. So we're talking about those basics again, the New Plus, winery, right?
Yes, I was doing basics. I mean, I would throw in other when I was working the golf course, but I would really up my basics. And a lot of times we'll start eating Sunrider, and maybe we're just doing 1 meal a day, and then we start reaching out for all these other products. And sometimes when we just go back and we increase the basics, we will be shocked at how far that will take us.
Yes, I love that, and that is so true. In fact, the theme of the American, the mental health awareness is about going back to basics. So it's funny that you say it that way, because we believe the same thing. It's always good to remember to go back to the basics, And I feel like when Top Joy and Eve came to us in Sunrider, that became part of our basics as well, so that we would do those, the New Plus or Vita Shave and the Cali of Fortune and the Coinery. And when we add this trio of Top Joy and Eve, wow. I mean, that really just added that extra help that a lot of us really needed when life gets really stressful. And not just, and I just want to remind everyone, this is not just about helping or trying to treat a symptom. These products are about building. So it is building our whole body, building our central nervous system, building our muscle, building the way our mind thinks, and the concentration. It's about building and helping our body to regenerate. And that's one of the things that I just feel like we need to remind people that this is, yes, it can help with symptoms, but this is all about feeding our body. And we all need really good nourishment to make sure that our bodies really work well. And adding the Top Joy and Ease, I feel, really does add that extra for us. So that's the Top Joy and Ease. And I want to move on to another product that has been really helpful for people as a way to help us with focus and feeling good. And Jeannie, are you there? You're going to be talking to us about. I'm sorry. Can everyone please go on mute? I'm hearing a little background. Can you hear me? I'm trying to. I'm hoping that. I'm hoping you cover Veros. We're not actually doing Veros tonight. If that's something you have an interest in, we'll definitely do that. I would really appreciate it. Yes. Okay. They're out of it, and I'm wondering how it's going to be balanced. Because you're supposed to take it with something else, and I'm kind of confused, and I'd like to, not get unbalanced because I'm not getting my Veros because they're not able to give it to me. So, Okay. Well, we'll finish up these other couple products that we're doing, and you're right. I mean, that Vero is not available right now, but no need to worry if it's something you've been doing, and that if it's not in stock just at the moment, not to worry too much about that. Just make sure that you just keep doing the basics. I'm sorry? I want to know what it was I was supposed to take. I was supposed to take it with something, and so I want to stop both of them until I can get it. That's why I'm asking. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not sure who was it that told you what you were supposed to take and take it with, because was that a suggestion by someone who introduced you to Sunrider? It has to do with balancing the male and female. Okay, so that's probably Bella. Yes. Yes. So that would be, it would be Veros and Bella. It was probably the combination someone suggested to you. Right. So I just want, okay. So, okay, I don't have those, then I can still take those, and maybe not so much. Yeah, I don't know. You can still do the Bella. You're fine if you still do the Bella. And then just if you're doing the basics, as we've been talking about, just stick with the basics too. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Yes. Oh, you're welcome. Okay. So Jeannie, are you ready? Did I lose you? Jeannie, are you there? Oh, there you are. I'm here. I had to unmute myself. Okay. And we're ready for you. Okay, so we've heard a lot of interesting comments and interesting information, about Top Joy and Ease. And yes, the top does help with mental clarity and focus. But sometimes people will have too much sugar and you feel hyper, and then you're going to have that crash feeling. You don't get that with top focus. And also with vitamin B9, which is folate, and folate is also a very important component that we need. Plus, it contains vitamin B12. We won't know how important B12 is. And so what I do is I just take it every single day. It's 3 times a day. And if I feel like I need to take an extra one of them, well, I can. And don't have to worry about, oh, am I taking too much? No. That's what's so great about Dr. Sunrider products. You can take as much as you need, and your body will absorb it. And it's really going to help you. It's food. And the whole food. It's all natural. It's great. Ginkgo biloba is a plant in itself. It has high levels of flavonoids and terpenoid compounds, and they're known for their strong antioxidant effects, which may include neuroprotective benefits. So we all need to protect our brains, but we don't want to have any issues with it, so that's really important. And what can I say? All I can say after that is thanking Dr. Jen for creating Top Focus. And I don't see any reason why you cannot say Top Focus, top doing your needs, you'll be at the top of your game. I love that. Back to you, Marlene.
Oh, I love that. You'll be at the top of your game. It really is true that you can do top and top focus. And the top focus, it actually it stops working within 15 minutes and lasts about 4 hours. And that's why you can take them, throughout the day at different times. So I think about these products in terms of when we're feeling stressed or anxious or overwhelmed. One of the things that I think is hard for us to do is just focus. It's hard to focus on anything when you're feeling that way. So this really does help to, it just helps to protect the cells in the brain and carries those messages. And that therefore it helps to keep our mind and memory sharper. And we know all of these, whether it's stress, anxiety, depression, any of these things, it's affected by our brain. And so anything that we can use to help support our brain, I think is a good thing. And so Top Focus, I think, is one of Sunrider's newest products, and it really does help. You can really see a difference when you're taking that. And I know there's many people on the call that just start off their day with Top Focus. I know there have been many students that have used Top Focus to help them concentrate in school, and then use Eve to calm down at night. So it's a great combination, any of these few products that we've talked about. So we have the Jet Set and we have the Top Focus. And there's just one last product we just want to share that also helps with calming and soothing. Richard, do you want to take that one?
Okay, yes, I'd be happy to. And that's our Sunrider. And everybody knows Sunrider. If you've ever been into a Sunrider person's home, trust me, you have smelled Sunrider because we use it for everything. It is an essential oil. Yeah, it helps to sore muscles, stimulate circulation, refresh your senses. And this is a balancing balm or oil. We prefer the oil down here, mainly in Florida, because if you leave the balm in your car, it does tend to get very soft and melt. So it has essential oils, and again, an ultra concentrated blend of nature's best botanicals. So it helps to manage stress, tension, overworked muscles, stiffness, achy joints, and you can massage it into your neck, rub it on your temples, or any sore muscle that you happen to have. And again, referring back to, injuries and pain, we all know about using Sunrider to help with sore muscles and aches and pains. But one of the ingredients in it is a cinnamon, or actually it's called cinnamon. And cinnamon in its own has a calming effect. And studies have shown, it was interesting, they said animals and humans. So it works on all of us animals, whether we're upright or four-legged, I guess. And it also promotes a feeling of warmth and comfort. And the eucalyptus, has a nice, refreshing, cooling scent. The mint is a warming herb, and that's why they call it sun breeze. Sun being warm, breeze being cool. And it really does help make you calm. And when you can ease pain or discomfort, whether, like I said, it's a sore muscle or a headache, you're just naturally going to feel more calm about it. I carry these with me all over. There's one in my car. There's one in my backpack, on my bike bag. In pretty much every room in the house, even though, like one of our other Sunrider friends says, I got one in every room of my house and I can never find it when I need it. And that is so true, because we pick it up, we put it down, we use it, and it's an amazing, amazing product. Has so many benefits. I'm sure if I asked for testimonials, we get at least 50 different uses out of it. And since we're running late, I'm going to kind of bypass that tonight. But Sunrider oil or balm, one drop goes a long way. Put a drop in your hand. The rest is heavy. You breathe it in. You can put it in one of those the air, what they call the diffusers, or machines that blow air through the house. I have sprinkled it on air filters in our air conditioner here or in my car. So when I turn on the air conditioner, it goes throughout the house. Marlene will put a few drops in a pot with boiling water and just let the steam permeate throughout the house. And it's so refreshing, and it's an amazing product to take with you. Every single Sunrider product is fast, easy, and convenient. Again, nothing artificial, nothing toxic, nothing harmful. So again, soothes, relaxes, and refreshes. So that's my take on Sunrider.
Thank you. And you're right, Richard. I didn't realize, my goodness, we have so many great testimonies this evening and great products to talk about that we're just about out of time. And yes, I would love to hear people's stories on Sunrider too. But we do have another call right after this. But I just wanted to remind everyone the products we spoke about tonight were Top Joy and Ease, Top Focus, and Sunrider. And these are all designed to help us to feel more relaxed and calmer, and help us to be able to manage our stress a little bit better, to help our body feel a little bit better, to bring us some joy and comfort. And so we highly recommend these products that we add every day to our basic foundation of products that were also mentioned this evening. And we'll go into more detail on those on another call. We just thank you all so much. We really do appreciate you and appreciate all of your input and your stories. I know it's really helpful for everybody. And I just wanted to remind everyone right after this call is over, if you are part of the Rising Stars team, just go to the Rising Stars Facebook page, and you can find the link for that call that follows this call. And then also this evening, there's another Sunrider webinar. It's called Conversational Selling Part 2. So if you were on it last week, that was Part 1, and tonight's Part 2. And I'm not sure if they might be going in the social media tonight. So those are going to be 2 fantastic calls. As soon as we end here, just wanted to say thank you again, everyone. And I hope you all have a great week. Remember, talk to your knees, talk focus and sun breathe if you want to feel a little more relaxed. So have a great week, everyone, and we'll talk to you next time.